Reason to see number 6. Writing and directing.
I just remember watching the first 10 minutes of this film and going, yeah, this is one of my favorite movies of the year.
And then someone told you to stop talking during the film.
It's his first movie where everyone is not talking about cinema. What an engrossing film. I mean, the trailer shows you a badass story about a slave essentially taking his uprising, but the film just gives you so much more than just that. It's the perfect blend of homage and complete originality.
He's very upfront about what he pays homage to.
This man knows how to create a revenge tale where you as the audience want revenge.
Yeah, it's a revenge story and a redemption story all at the same time, and then mixed with a buddy story too, you know?
This guy once again showcases his expertise for authentic dialogue. Every character in this film has their own unique way of speaking.
Yeah, the slavery in this movie is portrayed in such a harsh light. And at the same time, you don't feel like he's trying to shove a message in your face, though.
The last hour to an hour and a half of this movie is like a play, and I love it. Expect the unexpected, but also expect exactly what you want out of this. He knows how to put his characters into situations where you wonder, like, how the hell are they gonna get out of this?
It gets to the point where you feel like anyone could die at any moment.
Yeah. This movie is like two stories in one. One story is about Django and his journey to becoming a bounty hunter. The other story is about a bounty hunter on a mission to rescue his wife.
This is almost a 3-hour movie, but you feel ready for another adventure right away.
I want a trilogy out of this. In a world today where it seems like unnecessary sequels or movies that end on an obvious note that a sequel is coming, rare is the occasion where you don't hear about a sequel being planned, yet you want one so damn bad.
Yeah, it's like every movie, it's like a sequel is a given nowadays, and then it's always the movie where it doesn't seem like it's a given that you want a sequel out of so bad. You know, there's so much emotion being generated in this film in such a unique fashion, and yet it never feels forced.
Reason to see number 7. Humor.
There's a lot more comedy than I anticipated for this film. Tarantino usually has comedy in his lines, but for this particular film, I would have to say one of the genres is comedy.
There's the one scene with the clan members with the bags over their heads and stuff like that, and that scene, like, flat out is a comedy scene. It's just pure comedy.
I mean, there is a good 40 minutes of this film where there's not much comedy going on, but at the end of the day, there's still 2/3 of this movie that has a lot of comedy. Tarantino just knew how to infuse comedy into this film, but not take away from the serious elements.
There's lots of humor in the snappy dialogue and in some of the situations too. It's not like he's just throwing jokes out, you know, it's like people reacting to situations and the humor that comes out through that.
At the end of the day, even the comedy itself feels authentic. In my opinion, this is one of the funniest movies of the year.
Reason to see number 8. Violence.
The violence is fun, it's over the top, it's whimsical at times.
See, the thing about the violence is that it's whimsical at the right times and it's harsh at the right times. I mean, there's a lot of moments where you're cringing at it, you know? The violence goes back and forth, you know, some of it is kind of fun and over the top and some of it is harsh, you know, and is you know, it's completely cringeworthy.
Reason to see number 9. The cinematography.
It's a violent film, yes, but there's a certain beauty to the way the movie is captured. A lot of scenes were captured through the master shot, which I adored because as an audience member, it's like the ultimate observation. You find your head going like this a lot, just looking and back and forth between two characters in the scene. And that might seem annoying when I do it on camera, but when you actually watch the movie, it makes it that much more exciting because it's like you get to choose what to look at.
Yeah, you can sort of study the frame.
Yeah.
You know, the cinematography is kind of a character in and of itself, you know, because you have all these intense zooms and these whip pans back and forth and stuff, and it really sort of communicates that old spaghetti western idea that he's going for.
Reason to see number 10. The score.
The music in this film ranges from, you know, oldies to rap to complete original music, yet each song fits perfect for each scene for some reason. I feel like the song choices were already there in Tarantino's mind before he directed or even wrote the scenes. It gave more to the film than the average movie score does.
You know, like the cinematography, the music in this movie is also a character. there's obvious purpose to each music choice. He paints broadly with the music, you know, it always has to do with what's going on, but it's also painting with moods more than, you know, having lyrics that pertain to the situation, you know, it just feels intuitive almost, like instinctual.
It's great because not even the rap music can take you away from the feeling that you're back in the Old West.
Reason to see number 11, the production design.
It wasn't too flashy, it was really grounded in reality. It really feels like you're at that time period. I mean, the houses, the costumes, just everything about it looks so authentic and so beautiful.
I also really appreciated that everyone has like disgusting teeth. Like, every character, there's a couple scenes where I think like, you know, Django's got a pretty nice set of pearlies, and you know, Schultz is a dentist at some point in time, so he's got okay teeth. But like all the rest of these like these rich southern plantation owners and stuff with these enormous houses, like they all have these disgusting black teeth. The tooth design is a reason to see this movie.
Reasons not to see.
Can't really find any.
There aren't any!
Yeah, this movie was perfect.
I can see things that people might be offended by. I can, you know, it's an extreme movie. It's Tarantino.
They do use the N-word like over 100 times.
It's like 109 times.
100, 110, something like that. I heard the number. Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
But for me personally, I felt it was an authentic choice for the film. I thought it made it that much more believable, and I thought too that, you know, maybe people did talk like this back then. I don't know. It makes sense though when you watch the movie, because I didn't walk out of this movie going, they use the N-word a lot. It does bleed into the film. It blends perfectly.
Tarantino's a divisive filmmaker to begin with, and he's a filmmaker that takes a lot of liberties, and you know, he's certainly on tour. So
he always uses the N-word anyway.
Just know what you're getting into. There's lots of extreme stuff in it, but you know, I think if it's for you, you'll know.
And if you don't like it, you're a bitch.